ECHAMP defends, in fact, two things. ECHAMP defends the therapies, homeopathy and anthroposophic medicine, and ECHAMP also defends the business of their members, the members being manufacturers of these medicinal products. And the major concerns we have is the level of the requirements in the field of regulatory affairs, where they put the levels almost at the same level as for new chemical substances, which is very difficult, not only because of the substances itself, but also because of the large number of substances we use in homeopathy. Access is at this moment a very important item because politicians more and more feel that that citizens want to make their own choice and that doing this, that they don't find sometimes their remedies, natural remedies, more and more natural remedies. They go in the pharmacy, they don't find it, they get a prescription from their homeopathic doctor, they go to the pharmacy, again they don't find it. So and the accessibility and mainly availability also is a high level and high topic in the European Union. Also related to inequalities. That means, and that's one of the major findings of our last study. Inequality, I mean that the products, you can find them in France and in Germany and maybe in the UK. And that's all. And in one of our most recent studies, we could find that also the demand for homeopathy in the member states not having a tradition in homeopathy is very fastly growing. So this is very important. So the European Union has to do something, and that's our point now. They have a problem, we have a problem, so we try to find how can we come to a win-win situation, that our problem is solved and that their problem is solved. I do lobbying since '92, so more than 20 years. And the attitude is a very dangerous one, because you get a lot of sympathy. And that's fine. A cup of coffee with biscuits and so on. But when you are out, then you see that they don't move. They don't do anything for you. There are several reasons. One of the reasons is that the big pharma is a very hard competitor, so they don't like it. They see that we grow. In the beginning they said homeopathy, not dangerous, it doesn't work, so let them do. But now, I think 15 years ago, they discovered, oh, they use arsenicum, they use belladonna, so they might be dangerous, and then they tell the decision makers, be careful, don't give too much space to these people, because... the consequence is that no decisions are taken, or almost no decisions, not in the field in regulatory affairs, but also not in the field of research, which is the topic of the conference in Barcelona, and where I think this is for me the first field to make progress now, because there is money, they have a problem, they have problems with chronic diseases, allergy, overuse of antibiotics. So, and I'm convinced that homeopathy can bring an added value at this moment to them. So we have to move on, to come forward there. Yeah. I speak as the president of a manufacturers association. You can imagine that for manufacturers it is at this moment very difficult. A lot of manufacturers have the same budget line for research and regulatory affairs. So, and all the money goes to regulatory affairs, and that's really a pity. And the large number of stocks we have is also makes it very expensive for us. All the analytical data we have to deliver they make it very difficult. And in my opinion, in order to be serious products, to to keep the status of medicinal products, we can, as manufacturers, not only rely on the tradition. Because when we only rely on the tradition and say we use it they use it 200 years, in my opinion, this is not enough, because this stops any further development. We should keep open the way for further development, and that's also one of our concerns. And another point for me is that, and there I think universities, manufacturers and the homeopathic community should work together. We should try to claim or to get more public funding, because otherwise we will not make it. The companies are too small. They can contribute, but they cannot pay everything. So public funding via the health programs, the research programs at the EU level must be possible. And the argument for doing so is that we can tell the politicians that when they spend money for homeopathy, it will come back to the population. At this moment, in many cases, when they spend money for allopathic medicine, then most of the time it goes back to larger companies. But when they spend in general to homeopathy, it might go back to the population and might reduce the costs for social, for the assurance companies and so on. So we must look for arguments also in this perspective, which I call the societal perspective.